Good evening, here's top news newsletter starting with headlines. Syrian army control Malaha farms in Deir ez-Zor, kills Takfiri terrorists in several areas. Iraqi foreign minister and Syrian ambassador discuss bilateral relations. Egypt orders death penalty for Muslim Brotherhood leader. Netanyahu vows to build more settlements if re-elected. Units of the army and the armed forces achieved a new progress within their continuous operation in pursuing terrorists of ISIS organization by destroying their last gathering in Al-Malaha farm south of Deir ez-Zor. The source added that the units of the army destroyed last gathering of ISIS terrorists with their arms, munition and ammunitions. Army units carried out operations targeting supply lines between terrorists and the Israeli enemies in the area of Jidur Horan, resulting in the death of many terrorists and the destruction of mortar launchers and assorted weapons in Al-Hara Hill northwest of Dar'a. While an army unit eliminated a number of terrorists and destroyed weapons and ammunition cache on a Saad road in Al-Nazihin camp in Dar'a. While army units inflicted heavy losses upon terrorists during operations targeting their dens and gatherings in Talbisi and near the cultural center and the industrial school in Arast and Homs province, leaving a number of terrorists dead or injured and destroying several of their vehicles along with weapons and ammunitions. In the Iraqi view, the Iraqi Foreign Minister Ibrahim al-Jafari discussed with Syria's ambassador in Baghdad, Sattam Jad'an al-Danda, bilateral relations and means of enhancing them to confront common challenges and combat terrorism organizations. A settlement by Iraqi Foreign Ministry pointed out that the Syrian ambassador delivered an invitation to al-Jafari from Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign and Expatriates Minister Walid al-Muallim to visit Damascus. Al-Jafari expressed his thanks for the invitation and promised to respond it as soon as possible, the settlement added. Meanwhile, Danda affirmed in Baghdad the importance of continuing joint cooperation between Syria and Iraq in all fields. He added that Syria and Iraq are confronting giant challenges targeting their stability and unity, adding that coordination and joint work in all fields is important in these critical moments in the history of the region, which is suffering from terrorist Takfiri attack. An Egyptian court seeks the death penalty for the Muslim Brotherhood's top leader Muhammad Badia and 13 other members of the group for inciting chaos and planning attacks on police and army institutions. Judicial sources said, Egyptian law requires any capital sentence to be referred to the Mufti for religious opinion before any execution can take place, although the Mufti ruling is not binding. Once the court issue a final verdict set for April 11th, the defendants can appeal it. The 14 include the Brotherhood's Salah Sultan, a preacher, and Saad al-Husseini, ex-governor of Kafr Sheikh province. Egypt has jailed thousands linked to the Muslim Brotherhood since the army removed President Mohamed Morsi from power in July 2013, a year after he was elected. The Zionist Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed on Monday to build thousands of new Jewish-only settlements units in occupied East Jerusalem if re-elected to the premiership. Despite international pressure will be built this neighborhood, he was quoted as saying by the Zionist public radio, defying demands by the international community to halt settlements building. He lashed out the electoral list of the Zionist Union coalition, his main electoral rival, saying it would bring Palestine faction Hamas to East Jerusalem. The occupation entity is slated on hold fresh Knesset elections on Tuesday. Elections are held every 4 hours, but the assembly can dissolve itself before the expiration of its term, though a simple majority vote. Competition between Netanyahu's right-wing Likud party and the Zionist Unit alliance is expected to be fierce, according to local opinion polls. International law considers the West Bank and East Jerusalem occupied territories captured by the Zionist entity in 1967, deeming a construction of Jewish settlements on the land to be illegal. France's Ministry of Interior has calculated the number of French citizens somehow connected to the warring in Syria on the side of Islamic jihadists, reported Figaro on Tuesday. According to Paris estimates, 1,422 French citizens have ties to extremists in fighting in Syria. Of them, 413, including over 100 women, are fighting in Syria on Islamist side right now. About 300 holders of French passport are now making their way to Syria, and some 260 former terror fighters have returned to France. Besides all of them, somehow 360 French citizens at home are keeping contacts with extremists in Syria, and approximately 80 French citizens have died fighting in the country. That was all for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nibal Hneidi. Good night.